good, y'all boys? It's your boy Chef King, Chef Shalom, back in the building. All praise to the Most High for another day. Hopefully you brothers been out there grinding, you know what I mean, handling business, doing what we supposed to do on the daily. But hey, let me rap with y'all boys real quick, man. I just want to let y'all boys know, bro, that everybody's different. That everybody's story gonna be different, bro. So like, don't try to emulate or copy somebody else's story because you think it sound better than yours. You know, some people come from poverty. Some people come from, you know, living in a rough neighborhood or the hood or the projects or whatever you want to call it. You know, and some people don't. Some people were fortunate that their parents, you know, made decisions and allowed them to not grow up in those kind of conditions, in those environments and circumstances, bro. But, you know, just because that person grew up had a better quality of life growing up, don't mean that they story not good. You feel me? So don't let, you know, that person, or don't let somebody make you feel like, damn, bro, your story lame, bro. Like, the way you came up, the way you did things is lame compared to the people who grew up with less. You know, like, ain't nothing wrong with growing up with having it. My kids, you know, most High willing, you know, I keep putting in this work. My kids gonna grow up having it. I don't have no kids right now, but when I do decide, you know, it's time to have some kids and the bag get right, best believe, bro, like, my kids are going to be those kids who grow up having it. You know, because I grew up, you know, it wasn't the worst conditions, but it wasn't the absolute best either. You feel me? So I kind of seen both sides of the scale, you know. But like I said, just because you grew up, you know, in a better environment, a better quality of life, don't mean that you got to make it seem like you got to fake the funk or act like you some hood guy or some tough guy, or that you less tough because you didn't come from the hood. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, more times than not, people who grew up in the hood, we did this because we had to. You know, this was the circumstances that was given to us, or the cards that was dealt to us, you know, due to the decisions that our parents may have made or didn't make that got us in this situation. I'm not saying we blaming the parents for nothing, but I'm just saying, like, that's the world that we came into. You know, and like I said, I never portray myself to be no hood guy or be on here acting like I'm all, you know, gang banging and all that. I don't do none of that. You know, I try to get well away from those kind of things. Like, I had homeboys that did stuff like that, but me personally, that was not my thing. You know, I ain't want to go to jail. I ain't want to get jammed up or have somebody trying to shoot at me and stuff like that. That shit ain't cool. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta have ops. You ain't gotta have people hating on you to the point that they want to take your life. That shit is like real deal survival mode out there. You know, people take shit from you if they feel like what you have is valuable in that environment. In your environment, they may not have everything the same, but, you know, if I have a sports car, you know, my neighbor may have a sports car or something of that nature, or a house that costs this amount of money and up. You know, that's cool and all, but don't let nobody make you feel like, oh, well, you were given this life. That's not your fault, bro. That doesn't, like, your story ain't my story, dog. And vice versa, bro. If you from the hood, don't let nobody tell you that your story is whack because you ain't grow up with a spoon, you know, a silver spoon or gold spoon or whatever the saying is in your mouth, bro. Like, you have to understand that your story is your story. So you have to live your life and be, you know, the main character in your story. You know, my story ain't like none of my homeboys' story. We may have similarities. You know, we may have went to certain things together. We may have went to certain schools together and experienced certain events together and stuff like that. But my story ain't the same as my homeboys to a T. But do I look like it, and do I look at it and say, oh, well, you know, well, damn, my story ain't like DJ's story, or my story ain't like Justin's story, you know. But damn, my story ain't good. Like, it's your story, bro. So I just want y'all boys to keep that in mind, bro. This is your story out here, so you the main character. You are the director of your story, bro. Like, continue to grind and grow to make your story as long as possible. You know how you had the Marvel movies that be like 3 hours long? Make your story a Marvel movie. Make your story very long. You don't want to be out here trying to fake the funk and get your story cut short. You know, there's too many brothers out here whose story done ended already. You know, I'm blessed. I'm creeping up on 30, so I'm blessed to see that. It's a lot of brothers who ain't even seen 25 or they seen 25 and 30 behind some jail bars. You know, so you keep that in mind, bro. Your story ain't gotta be my story, and my story ain't gotta be yours. Your story is your story. If the message applies to you, you charge it to the game. If it don't, you keep it pushing. It's your boy King Chef Shalom. Shalom, y'all boys.